Good evening, Bridgeport. Thanks for coming out tonight. This is our June 23rd meeting at 7:55. We are called to order. Please rise and pledge a flag.
Allegiance to the flag of
The United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Measure.
Thank you, everyone. Matt, roll call, please.
Councilmember Schenk.
Here.
Councilmember Hauk.
Here.
Vice President Gundrum.
Here.
President Alzayed.
Here.
Councilmember Nolan.
Here.
Councilmember Gamble.
Present.
Councilmember Cosenza.
Here.
Mayor Heil.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Bella?
Yes, Madam President, we were in executive session from approximately 6:45 to approximately 7:50 with regard to multiple personnel issues.
Thank you, Mr. Bello. All right, first up here for council consideration, we have approval of May 26, 2026 meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion, Ms. Hauk, second for Mr. Schenk. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Next up for council consideration, we have approval of the June 9th, 2026 meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Motion, Ms. Nolan, second from Ms. Gamble. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Just really quick here for my update, just wanted to thank everyone for attending the carnival and our staff for pulling it off another year. Great attendance, really nice. I think the most community-based carnival that I really enjoy attending. Thank you to the volunteers for coming and for joining us and making it a very smooth carnival, and to our police force and all the volunteer police and fire police and fire departments that showed up for us. Really thankful that we got to see lots of smiles, great music, great food, and we had a new vendor this year. And I think for the most part, everything went off without a hitch. So I really enjoyed it and was there all 5 days, I believe. It was, excited it comes every year, but I'm sure the staff is excited that we can take a break after all the work. But thank you guys for all that you do. All right. Next up here, we're going to be discussing the zoning hearing for Ordinance 2026-03, amending Chapter 560-1204 of Bridgeport Borough Code, additional regulations in the LIC Light Industrial Commercial District. And I am looking for a motion to dispense with the regular order of business and to open a hearing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Schenk, second from Ms. Gundrum. And we are in the hearing? Is there, do we have to get everyone to be in favor?
No, we're fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
open the hearing?
Was a motion made? I'm sorry, I was reading.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does everyone have to agree?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, the hearing is open.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a zoning hearing, and given the fact that it's a zoning hearing, we must submit some exhibits. The two exhibits I'll be admitting this evening, or at least proposing for admission, is C1, which is the advertisement of this zoning hearing. It was published in the Times-Herald on 2 occasions, 6/9/26, as well as 6/16/26. C2 is the actual text amendment and the changes that we're going to be considering this evening. And I'll defer to Mr. Truman at this point.
Thank you, Solicitor Bello. Members of council, members of the audience, Ordinance 26-3 is a piece of legislation, I guess, that we have discussed probably 4 or 5 times here over the last several meetings. This is an amendment of Chapter 560 of Bridgeport Borough Code, which is the zoning ordinance for Bridgeport Borough. And specifically, this is an amendment to the additional regulations in the LIC, Light Industrial Commercial District. In short, what this, the primary drive behind this amendment or change in zoning is to allow for the historically or previously multifamily or mixed-use development was permitted in the light and is permitted in the light industrial commercial district. However, only if you were to reuse a pre-existing building. This proposal this evening, this ordinance this evening, would allow for a developer to come in and demolish and basically scrape a parcel to the ground and build from scratch, as opposed to reusing an existing shell of a building. And then in addition to providing that provision, it also, with that comes a host of dimensional regulations and requirements that make sure that if a developer opts to go in this direction, that the borough has put proper safeguards and guidelines in place to guide and direct that developer to build in a manner in which the municipality sees fit.
Okay, I would ask if there's anyone here on council who wants to speak in opposition of the amendment. For the record, there's no response. Is there anybody who wants to speak in support of the amendment?
I have a question of clarification.
Please.
This ordinance is listed as 003, but in our exhibit, it is 004. I just want to be consistent in what this is that we are entertaining.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Gamble. When you are dealing with a host of multiple draft ordinances at the same time, when you draft them and start considering them, they don't always get adopted in the same sequence in which you originally drafted them. You are correct. This was originally discussed as ordinance number 3. Council would be adopting ordinance number 4 this evening. It has subsequently been changed. There have been 3 other ordinances that have been adopted this year prior to this one, so this would be 2026-4. Thank you very much for catching that.
Thank you. Anyone else? Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in support of this application? For the record, no response. Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition to this amendment? For the record, once again, no response. Unless there's objection, I'm going to move for the admission of C1 and C2. Does anyone object? For the record, there's no response. And I think, Madam President, at that point, we can conclude the hearing after your vote.
Thank you, Mr. Bello. All right, we need like a motion to resume regular order of business.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion from Ms. Hauk, second from Ms. Cosenza. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, we will resume to our regular order of business. Next up here for council consideration, we have Resolution 2026-36, amending the 2026 fee schedule. Go ahead.
Just a quick overview. The purpose to this resolution is making a few minor amendments to the fee schedule. Number 1, this is adding language that would give Borough Council the authority to grant partial or full waivers of permit fees to institutional uses such as churches, schools, and other nonprofits. Number 2, this would increase the annual business license fee from $35 to $50. And number 3, there was some minor language revised under the zoning permit section to more accurately reflect services provided. Rather than referring to them as zoning compliance reviews, we've redesignated them as true zoning permits. which matches an administrative change that we've made inside the office. And there were a couple very minor fee adjustments to that section as well.
Thank you, Mr. Truman. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the fee schedule changes.
A second.
Motion from Mr. Shank, second from Ms. Nolan. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. Next, council consideration, we have the fee waiver request for St. John the Baptist. Do we have a motion to bring to the floor?
I'll make the motion.
All right, motion from Ms. Hauk. Do I have a second to begin the discussion?
I'll second.
All right, second from Ms. Gamble. Do you have any questions or comments or discussion?
So basically, we did have a discussion, and given normally we're waiving fees that are a much lower amount, we've come up with the number that we would be able to give you a 30% reduction on that fee, but we would like to discuss with you other means that we can work together in the future. I mean, speaking on behalf of everyone else for right now, but just for this specifically one thing, this is what we have kind of come to terms with your request.
Yeah, so we basically looked historically at what we had done with other nonprofits, such as yourself. We really like to support everyone best we can, but because of the fees being waived in the past being so minimal, this is the first time that we've kind of had one that was a substantial, so we just had to take it into consideration. So thank you for the suggestion of 30%. I'd open the floor to everyone else's thoughts if anyone has any additional discussion items they'd like to bring up. Is everyone okay with the 30%? Is that something that?
I think 30% seems like a fair number that hopefully in the future we can be consistent and, yeah.
All right, Mr. Bellowden, do we adjust the wording here to say that we are considering a 30% fee waiver request for the St. John Baptist?
It would be an approval of the 30%.
Wonderful. Do we have to approve this 30%, then approve the fee waiver, or is it just in one? One, great.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a motion, we have a second. Do we then redo the motion, just for the sake of the record?
There's a motion to approve a 30% reduction, and then it's voted on, and if it doesn't pass, then someone else can make a motion at a different number.
I guess the question is, when I stated it, I stated fee waiver request St. John the Baptist. I did not include the 30% number, so should I
Yes.
engage? Okay.
Yeah, just
All
for
right.
clarity.
Sounds good to me. Thank you.
I'm sorry, can you just, because what you just said, can you clarify, is it a 30% reduction or 30%? Because 30% in one way or another.
Reduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the covering the cost, the 30% of the cost, or, is that correct?
It'll be a 30% reduction.
30%,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
No,
I'm not the one making them.
That's what makes sense to me, 30%
yeah.
off the fee.
It's a coupon for
All right.
30% off.
So we would like a motion for 30% to reduce the permit fee costs, so for the fee waiver request that they submitted for, again, St. John the Baptist. Do we have a motion to do that?
I'll make the motion.
Motion from Ms. Cosenza, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Ms. Gamble. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, come on up. Say your name and address, please.
Bob DeMorad, 602 Ford Street. St. John's, what buildings are going to be involved in this? Is it the church, the rectory, the school building? What is it?
The entirety of the work that is going to be involved in this right now is what's called the school building, so I think that's listed on the map as 504.
The response was the school building.
What's the school building going to be used for?
Can you step up to the microphone? Mr. Doorman, I would remind you that it's public comment, it's not public interrogation. So you can make comments, but you don't necessarily have the right to interrogate anyone. But the nature of the questions seem to be innocuous, so perhaps you want to answer the questions, but ask your questions, then give her an opportunity to speak.
Sure.
So I guess I use.
Silent unless you're talking into the microphone.
My name is Tricia Buckman. I am the parish secretary at St. John the Baptist. Father Keys apologizes for not being here. This is the eve of our solemnity of title, so he has to go and wave around a bonfire and do a couple other things like that. To be quite honest, I'm not sure he was that sad about having to miss this meeting in order to do that, but I'll let him speak for himself on that. The work that we have slotted is in what we call the school building. It is no longer a school. We do not have a functioning school on the property. We use it for ministry activities. We have a thrift shop in there. We use it for our church social functions. Right now, what we're dealing with is actually just limited to dealing with the HVAC system within that school building, or what we call the school building. As many of you know, the property is actually rather old. The school building itself was built in, the 1940s, something around there. We've spent up to $20,000 per year fixing leaks that occur in the steam piping. We have gone over a lot of proposals from different contractors, but right now our primary focus is to get the HVAC system to a point where it can actually handle the use that we want from it and not break so much, so we don't have to be pouring so much into keeping it in repair. So that's what right now the proposed construction is. And assuming the permitting process goes along, and I'm not exactly sure how that works, we have financing that's kind of supposed to be closing later this week, and we should be getting that done within the summer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming up. All right, any additional comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. All right, next up here, we have a motion to approve the ordinance 2026-03, amending Chapter 560-1204 Bridgeport Borough Code, additional regulations in the LIC, Light Industrial Commercial District. We are voting on this outside of the hearing as well, just to make sure that it is good to go.
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Ms. Gundrum.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shank. Do you have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bell. Next up for council consideration, we have Resolution 2026-37, executing the hauler's agreement with Gray Brothers Septic.
Just real quick, this is, Gray Brothers is not a new hauler with the sewer department. Gray Brothers, in fact, is one of our longest standing haulers. However, when Hurricane Ida hit us and flooded out the sewer plant, this is one of the haulers agreements that we lost. So just as a matter of housekeeping, it came to our attention recently that we did not have a haulers agreement with Gray Brothers, so we are re-executing that with this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion, Ms. Campbell, second from Ms. Hauk. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. Next up here for council consideration, we have authorization to release the accrued employment pension contributions with applicable interest to beneficiaries of former borough employees at $40,886.93. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion, Ms. Hauk, second, Ms. Nolan. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. Next up here for council consideration, we have Resolution 2026-38, authorizing creation of new bank account for the purpose of housing commercial tenant security deposits. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Shank.
I'll second.
Second from Ms. Cosenza. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Next up here for council consideration, we have Resolution 2026-39, updating the authorized administrative liaison between Burkhammer Associates and the Borough of Bridgeport. Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Ms. Gundrum.
Second.
Second, Ms. Nolan. Do you have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Last up here for council consideration, we have approval of bills and salaries for June 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Ms. Nolan, second from Ms. Hauk. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have unfinished business. Are there any items of unfinished business we'd like to discuss? Seeing there are none, do we have any committee reports this evening?
Yeah, the Finance Committee met this past Monday, June 15th, was it, last week? Yes. It was we just had another discussion about the capital improvement project plan that the borough, we had just had a discussion about the last council meeting, and just discussed about how to prioritize all of the projects that we have in the pipeline, or the possible projects we have in the pipeline for the next 5 years, and how to juggle those and decide our prioritization for grant applications and possible borrowing for all of those projects, and really just looking at the needs versus wants for all of those items in the capital improvement project. And we also had just gotten our, the CDBG, the 2026 block grants. We were awarded $175,000 for paving this year. That's it. I'm sorry, and also the attendees for the finance meeting was myself, Ms. Gamble, Ms. Alzaid, and Mr. Truman.
Thank you, Ms. Hillen. Any additional committee reports?
I have updates from the Small Business Economic Development Committee. Present were Keith Truman, Saba El-Zayed, Kyle Schenk, and myself. Absent were Wendy Troost, Emilio Butriago, and Ben, last name, Roberts, thank you. We invited the Commerce Department from the county to come in and present to us on available funding for small businesses within the borough. We asked them to share with us any ways that we could improve marketing, ways we could just better engage and invite new businesses into the borough, and also talk about next steps of engagement with them on a pilot program that they're working on. And so we're very excited about next steps with them, and going to, in the near future, invite small businesses that exist within the borough to a meeting with the Commerce Department so that we can further these discussions. This is just one of the focuses of what we have as what our mission is. So I'm excited that we're moving it forward aggressively and successfully.
Thank you, Laura. Any additional committee reports this evening? All right, we can move on to the mayor's report. Mayor?
Thank you, President. First, I want to add my thanks to volunteers, vendors, sponsors, and staff for making the 2026 Bridgeport Carnival run smoothly. I'm especially grateful to Bridgeport Fire Company for, again, providing great food and resources as well. And thank you to our Bridgeport Police for their diligent commitment to public safety and thinking on their feet. Thanks as well to the State Police and officers from West Conshohocken, Upper Marion, and Fire Police from East Norton, Norristown, Swedesburg, and Bridgeport. Chief is not here today, but he did a lot of great work coordinating with people on timing and availability, as I hope everyone was able to see. We're always learning from each event, and we'll have some updated security protocols for 2027. Last week, we held our Founders Day committee meeting here in Borough Hall, and we discussed our plans to highlight history over the next few years and change our approach to be more comprehensive and engaging. Founders Day will become more of a Bridgeport Founders Society or Historical Society to educate and celebrate our history year-round. 2027 marks 250 years of Washington's encampment at Valley Forge going into 2028 as well. So we want to do more to bring in local businesses and families here in Bridgeport. Be happy to bring this up to the events committee and how we want to do that with our history. So if you'd like to be involved, please email me or message me through Facebook, and we'll see how we can move this to recognize our history in more ways so that it's not just the one event in February or March, which is sometimes a tough time with the weather. Our Bridgeport National Night Out event will be here at the Borough Hall lot on August 11th. We have confirmed that there are no school activities that will interfere with that date. So if you'd like to be involved, please contact myself or Officer Stead. This is a free event for Bridgeport families. As I mentioned last time, Chase from Paw Patrol will be there. Probably not an actual dog, but there might be dogs there. We'll see. I want to thank everyone who commented on my Pride Month post on social media because it reminded me and everyone else why Pride Month is important. A few of us are wearing pink today, which I realized was National Wear Pink Day. I just guess, I don't know. But I also want to thank our local businesses for celebrating Pride Month, including Frosty Falls. So I'm always glad to be at Frosty Falls. It's usually better than wherever else I am. I hope you all will join me in council when the Big Boy Steam Train comes through Bridgeport at about 9 a.m. on Friday, July 3rd. Thanks to council for working to promote this, and special thanks to Councilwoman Gamble for her work. You've done a lot of organizing on it, and I really appreciate the updates, Councilwoman. So I have seen photos of the Big Boy coming through towns all over the country or the region, and there are a lot of large crowds, so our police are planning security measures to be on alert. I've talked with Chief about different things that they're doing to make sure to watch out for crowd control and keep people safe, as we expect many people to be watching here in Bridgeport, and we'll be coordinating with West Conshohocken too, because it might come through that area. Our police have been directed to address speeding on major roads, particularly Ford Street, and I'm continuing to update our chief on anything I hear from residents about excessive speeding. Please always reach out if you have traffic or safety concerns. We have to adjust tactics based on personnel or time, but I'd rather you ask than assume we know about an issue. This has come up a lot of times on side streets like 8th or 7th where people go fast and we don't realize that people are using those side streets at 50 miles an hour sometimes, so please bring it up. I realized today as I was looking up special things this month is that June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental health concerns can mean many things for different people, from depression to anger to loneliness and more. If you or someone you know is struggling with these issues, please reach out to me or our officers, our chaplain. We can help direct you to proper resources to help or engage with the county on different issues along this. So we'd rather engage on mental health issues that will keep you safe before things get worse. So that is my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. The chief is not here this evening, so we can move on to new business. Are there any items of new business anyone would like to discuss? All right, we can move on to open forum announcements. Are there any announcements this evening?
Just want to remind everyone what Mayor Howell just brought up. We do have a large event happening on July 3rd. We hope everyone comes out in patriotic clothing, hears about the history of our train depot and looks towards the future of it, and also sees the Big Boy come through town. I know that's very exciting. If you look it up once, you will know all about it. And in addition to it, we will have a reading of the Declaration of Independence and some light refreshments, etc. So we hope everyone comes out to enjoy with us.
Yeah, Lauren, I think the fan favorite, we're going to have some Susie Joe's donuts and some flags to give out. And also donated some memorabilia pens, which is super exciting. So thanks to her for doing that. Really excited to have this, and thanks for your leadership on it.
Oh, and don't be late. This is a train schedule.
The train will not stop.
If you don't show up on time, you will miss the train.
Yeah, I've been in some conversations that people have been advocating for them to pull the horn in Bridgeport. Not a guarantee, but we've been trying to push for it too. So hopefully we get some of that. Thank you first.
Real quick, I'd like to ask folks, Tuesday night, tonight is Tuesday night, but that has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm about to say. Saturday morning, June 28th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 100 Ross Road. the old extracorporeal building, if anybody remembers. Collectible Classics, one of our newest businesses, is going to be hosting a Cars and Coffee in conjunction with their grand opening. Cars and Coffee, or Collectible Classics, is going to be a high-end boutique car dealer. They do a lot of business based strictly off of internet bid sites like Bring a Trailer and Cars and Bids, and they want to welcome residents to their establishment and ingratiate themselves into the community with this Cars and Coffee event. So again, it's 100 Ross Road, June 28th, which is this Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Sunday morning, excuse me. And there is it's also a fundraiser. They're looking for donors to make contributions. And those contributions are going to be going toward the Bridgeport Fire Department and the Bridgeport Police Department. And Collectible Classics is going to match whatever is raised up to a certain dollar amount. So coming out Sunday morning for some coffee, food, cars, and community. Thank you all. And to piggyback off of what President Al-Zayed had mentioned earlier, a big thank you to everybody who participated in the 2026 Bridgeport Carnival this week, whether you were a volunteer, a sponsor, a government partner, a vendor, or one of our great artists. And I just wanted to quickly run through the list, and I do apologize if anybody is omitted. We still think the world of you. Real quick, our volunteers: June Charles, Aaliyah Carter, Alyssa McMillan, Anthony Alisea, Barb Fields, Brian Kurish, Cindy Eastman, Dean Benyode, Demi Sweeney, Denise Rambo, Diane Gundrum, Helen Sermon, Jared Crosdale, John Gundrum, John Simons, Laura Gamble, Megan Nolan, Nicole Schweidel, Rena Varghese, Roan Matthew, Susan Layton, Tony Heil, Tricia Benyode, and Vela Hatzipavlidis. Our bands were fantastic: AM Radio, Newspaper Taxis, Mike Greer and Company, Whiskey Grin, and the Mighty Manatees. Our band sponsors were even better: Three Hill Credit Union, couldn't do it without them. Three Hill Credit Union, Bridgeport Business Association, Bridgeport Veterinary Hospital, Cecilia Restaurant, or 1743 Hospitality Group, Collectible Classics, GFT, Gannett Fleming Incorporated, Growing Bridgeport Together, Infinity Lines, Lennar, Pico, Petals Florist, The Depot Bar, and Tube Methods. Thank you all. Our artists: Claire Sowers, Caitlin Schwartz, Scott Myers, Stephanie Schwartz, and Teresa O'Brien. Of course, our vendors: tons of fun shows. Their first time here. They did a wonderful job running the event. We heard a lot of good reports back. Adello Winery, Contract and Brewing Company, Chariot Graphics, Oscroy Product Center, and of course, the fire department, the police department, and all of our fantastic intergovernmental partners that provided staffing and assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Looks like your computer decided to exit. An additional item I wanted to chat through for the carnival specifically, our staff spends a lot of time on lots of these events and puts a lot of effort into it. This year we had a bit of a curveball. Our vendor from last year retired, so we needed to get a new vendor. So they very quickly found a new vendor and worked tirelessly to make sure that this event went off smoothly. And I think they achieved that. But not every, we can't guarantee that every single event is going to be without any hiccups. When that happens, we try to work together to address them and collaboratively find solutions. So one of the things that came up in the last event was there was a bit of overcrowding and lots of kids there. So one of the things that the council did, was Laura Gamble had reached out to me and a couple of others about maybe having a proactive solution to support our police, as we love that they're there and we thank them for all their efforts. But we felt that there was a bit of a gap that we wanted to try to fill in a way to just support them, have more feet on the boots on the ground, if you will. So the idea of having a teen corner appeared, and we very quickly pulled together. I wanted to thank a couple of volunteers whom, when I texted, responded immediately and showed up. Jasmine and Dustin, which are actually council members from Norristown. When we brought up, the conversation with them, they showed up the same day. Dustin owns Maz Comics, so he brought some comic books down, some toys, some games, and just some things from his store that he gave out to the kids. We had some competitions for them. Laura had a really nice idea to have the teenagers play against the police officers in basketball, and actually funded that request, and thankful to her for doing that, and we thought that was a really successful part of the evening. Deshaun, June, Mandy, Yvonne, and Natalie all gave their time and walked around, and really it was nothing more than just walking around, discussing, chatting with the kids, making sure that they knew they had someone there to support them, and providing a space with free snacks and some free activities that we were hoping to just kind of give the police a break a little bit from the crowds and from the work that they have to do in general. So we hope that that was something that everyone feels positive about. If you have any thoughts or ideas, it is a new thought that we just implemented. We ran it for 2 days, and we're happy to report that in those 2 days there were no incidences. I had a really I had a lot of great conversations with the kids and found that a lot of them were pretty young and didn't have any parents there. So, we were all teenagers at one point, and not to excuse any of the behavior that sometimes can occur, but for the most part, I think they were just kids looking to have a good time, and we hopefully provided some of that relief to them and support and community to them. As we want everyone to feel welcome in Bridgeport, but we also want everyone to behave and make sure that everyone has a good time, and most importantly, support our police in these efforts. So, yeah, if you guys have any thoughts, reach out to us. I just wanted to make sure I thanked everyone that showed up in literally 2 hours turnaround time for that, wonderful efforts. Lastly, I wanted to discuss something that I think is super exciting. Everyone has kind of been working towards for years now. We were happy to announce, Keith had announced earlier on the Facebook page that we are closing down the playground up at Memorial Park because great things are coming. So we will be using the grant that we had attained earlier this year to replace the playground. We've been working tirelessly. As you recall, a couple of meetings ago, we established a committee for that, the park committee, where we had the park fund represented, a couple of members of council represented, our engineer, we had some vendors. We've been up there a couple of times, and we're finally at the point where we are starting to execute. What you can look forward to this week is we want lots of information from you. We'd like lots of feedback, so please go on our Facebook page, check out the renderings, send us emails. You can post publicly if you'd like, and we will also be announcing a meeting where you can come share your thoughts with us. I do want to say that we've taken lots of care into trying to figure out the best way to use the amount of money that we have, because although the amount might seem like a lot, it's really expensive to implement parks safely. And so we tried to do a little bit of everything for everyone to make sure that it's ADA compliant, which to me was most important. And I think we have some really great things to show you. So excited to hear your feedback and hoping to see you soon at a meeting that we announce in a couple of weeks so that we can hear your opinions formally in person. Are there any additional items of announcements this evening?
Just really quick, I don't think we mentioned that this Saturday is the borough-wide community yard sale day. So if you were interested in participating, going through some of your wares that you would like to sell outside of your house, just remember that you do still need to apply for the yard sale permit with the borough, but that $25 fee would be waived on this particular day. And I know the borough will be publishing a list of houses that are participating in the community-wide yard sale. And is there a date by which residents have to apply for the yard sale permit this week?
If they want to be included on the mass list that we put out to advertise and promote each of the properties that are engaging in the yard sale day, they should have their permits submitted to us by noon on Friday. And we'll put it out by 3 or 4 in the afternoon on Friday afternoon.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Any additional announcements this evening? All right, we can move on to public comment. Are there any members of the public that wish to comment this evening? All right, we can certainly entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Laptop's going to be open.
Your laptop will have to wait. It is 8:35 and we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.